You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Lost Girl After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Lost Girl After Show.
Hey there, Lost Girl fans. Docubuses, Rainer buses, maybe?
Yeah, I'll take
Wolfie
it.
buses. Can you hear me? I can't hear myself in my headphones.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Welcome to Lost Girl Season 4, Episode 11. The title of the episode, End of a Line. I'm Matt Lieberman, and joining me, just as heartbroken, is Yael Tygiel.
Hi, everyone.
Wow.
I'm so depressed.
I know. Well, I honestly, it's so heartbreaking that Hale is no longer with us. Hopefully, in an episode that introduced the concept of dead Fae walking around, as much as I don't want him to be a revenant or a zombie, if we're being real, there's still hope. But it's honestly, it's a gift. It's a gift of an episode, as horrible as it is. The fact that the creators of this show are willing to take such creative risks that are willing to show that nobody is safe really just means a world of possibilities for where this show can go. We're very sorry to see Hale go, if that's actually what's happening. And Kenzi, oh, poor Kenzi. We're going to get into all that later on, but so that it doesn't dwarf the conversation, we got to talk about everything else. How are you feeling? How are you holding up? How are you holding up?
I'm gonna be okay. The episode started and I don't know why I was sad already.
Yeah,
I had this sadness as it
sense
began.
of foreboding.
Yeah, it was a sad episode, although we got a lot of really interesting information. A lot of questions were brought up.
And a very beautiful moment that then got dashed upon the rocks of misfortune.
Yeah.
But we'll get into all of it. Let's start at the top. Kenzi and Tamsin trying to have a girls' night and
watch zombie movies.
Or the movie about a vampire who goes to medical school.
Right.
Or Jerry Maguire.
Right.
But they couldn't afford the box art for Jerry Maguire, so it's like a DVD.
It's like a burned.
It's a burned version of Jerry Maguire. Tamsin's not into it, and Kenzi's lamenting the fact that, you know, Bo has shut them all out, and she misses her best friend just as Bo comes up behind her, and, you know, they get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is important. The fact is, ever since things went so badly at the doll, Bo isn't giving up any of the reasons why she's with Rainer. She's not explaining it because she thinks that they're not going to listen, they're not going to care. You know, I hate that they're not together. I mean, how are you feeling about that?
It really bothers me that they keep asking her to explain.
And then she's just
and
not.
She's like, no, you're not going to understand.
Right.
Well, tell me.
Right, because she keeps saying that she's not brainwashed, but...
She sounds pretty brainwashed.
Yeah, just because she can't explain why. That's like, you know, cult stuff. When you're in a cult, you can't explain why. You just believe. And I can't believe that Rainer isn't just a little shady at all.
Right. There's no way that he's perfect.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it brings up, they bring up a lot of, you know, was he evil just because he defied the Blood King, or was he really evil? And then we get some reveals closer to the end.
Yes. So, after this kind of heart-to-heart...
You had me at asshole.
You had me at a-hole. It's true. A zombie, or a revenant, tries to attack Bo. And Akasha, played by the lovely Linda Hamilton of Terminator fame.
We have missed her.
Yes, back as Akasha. And she kicks some butt with a Fae samurai sword. And, you know, turns out she's got this revenant hand given to her by Massimo, name-checked at the top of the episode. His presence is felt throughout.
Yep.
And this Revenant, no one knows who sent it, but he does have a Wanderer card on him. So Tamsin and Akasha convinced it's the Wanderer. And Bo says, well, let's all go together so I can prove to you it's not him, that he is a good guy. We got to figure out who's trying to frame my new boyfriend.
Yep.
Yeah, my destiny. So they wind up in like this weird back alley tent city where all the Fae who are homeless or dead or I mean, what is this slum?
I'm not sure what it was supposed to be, and then they try to mix this whole. Maybe I'm still stuck on American Horror Story, but they mix this whole voodoo, zombie-esque thing with this tent city Skid Row type place.
Right. Although I do have to compliment the production design in this episode. I liked all the environments that we were in. I thought that they showed a level of depth, and they looked more expensive than usual. Is that like a thing I can say?
Yeah.
You know,
They've got a bigger budget this year for sure.
exactly. Like even just the exterior of the voodoo priestess's little trailer
Yeah.
is like very beautiful, and it's just a lot of details being put into the set design this season. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So they're rooting around looking for stuff, and they split up because Akasha has a contact named Harvey, my mistake. Contact named Harvey, who Tamsin can't go see because she's the one who sent his mother to Hecuba prison all these years ago. Liked seeing Hecuba prison name checked. That's like one of the best episodes of the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Like a really, really clever episode. So it was nice to see it remembered on the show. They go and visit Harvey, who is just a creep.
He's so weird.
Yeah.
This episode was, I guess, because it had Faye being brought back to life and the drinking of the blood. It was a really creepy, gross episode.
Yeah. Lot of gore, some beheadings.
Yeah.
Like there were some brutal kills this episode.
Oh yeah, when Dyson tears that guy's
He
throat
does a
out.
solid throat rip, like right out of MacGruber.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've seen MacGruber. There's a
have not.
lot of throat ripping in MacGruber.
Oh, good.
It's a great movie.
Is it?
Yes. It's
Okay.
actually a brilliant movie. It's one of the best comedies of the last 10 years. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But Dyson just shows up. There's this other Revenant. There's a crazy guy screaming or like telling them about the voodoo priestess.
Right, about Laveau.
About Laveau. You know, she's both dead and alive. And this Revenant comes out, and for whatever reason, they're intimidated by it instead of just trying to kill it.
Right.
But then Dyson pops up out of nowhere, throat rip,
Ugh,
and
gross.
it's like,
And then beheads
did you
it.
miss me?
Yeah.
You know, that's not what he said, but it was
Right.
it was the same level of corniness.
Yes.
I am the swaggering hero. You ladies can't defend yourselves. Allow me, rip.
Yeah.
No.
He comes in to save 3 warrior women.
3 warrior women, one of which has a sword.
Yeah.
The other one
Bo has a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tamsin has her ghost face.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why is he needed at all? But they plug him in because we still have to see what's going on with him mentally and emotionally now that he's been shut out by Bo and that she has this new romance.
Yeah.
He's feeling very, very hurt, dejected. She didn't let him down easy. She let him down hard. He really had his hopes up that things were finally going to work out. And everything seemed to be going that way until she got back on the train. You know, they slept together. They were getting more cozy. I think his hopes were as high as they've been since he got his love back. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So we have this meeting with Harvey, and they pull out the Revenant head, and he just pours a nice, tall, frothy glass of dead Fae blood.
Yeah.
Which, like, why that blood isn't just, like, coagulated and, like, it's dead. It's not hot blood.
Don't use logic.
Okay. But he's drinking the blood.
He takes a shot glass. It was
And
great.
he's drinking it like wine, like doing his
Yeah.
like little slurpee,
It
getting
was so gross.
all the little fruity notes, some cherry, and he accuses Akasha of having raised the Revenant, which doesn't really jive with what's going on. I guess he's lying.
Right.
Because it turns out it's Laveau.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to... He tells them about the voodoo priestess? He tells them about Laveau?
No. They leave and... Dyson and Tamsin were out talking to the people.
Right.
And the crazy man's shouting at them and explains about the 3 sisters, and there's 1 sister, and she's dead and alive, but there were 3 and there's 1.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Crazy man, but he's right.
Yeah.
And
so they follow his lead.
To Laveau, the voodoo priestess who knows about the succubus.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows who Bo is. She's just like a celebrity.
Well, yeah, she's the unaligned succubus.
But she is aligned now. I
but,
guess that must have been big news.
Well, of course it was. It really rocked their entire system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't have everybody knows in this world. You have to choose one or the other. And if somebody defies that, everyone will know.
Yeah, absolutely. So they go to Laveau's, and we find out that the hand is possessed. Mm-hmm. We find that out there, or when we get back to Harvey's.
Laveau controls Akasha's hand,
and she starts swinging her sword around.
So then they knock her out.
Right, they knock her out, and they drag her back to Harvey, and he's like, "Oh, baby, you know, you're dead, but you're still the finest bitch I ever did see."
Gross.
And then just like gross dead person on creepy person makeouts. Mm-hmm. And they're just like making out in the background while all this other stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Which I think is a hilarious little bit.
It's very Lost Girl.
It's very Lost Girl.
If you ever had to explain to someone what Lost Girl was like, just show them that scene.
Just show them that scene. Zombies coming in from every side, breaking down the walls and windows and doors. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, a guy makes out with a dead voodoo priestess in the background.
Yeah.
That actually, you're right. That is the most Lost Girl thing I've ever heard.
Sounds like my kind of Friday night.
Whoa, Roya Tahiri with the crazy freaky Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah, meow.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah. All right. Before we continue,
yes,
gotta talk iTunes. Mm-hmm. Folks, I want to thank you for your support of the show. We love doing it. We love Lost Girl. We want to be able to, provide you with the best possible Lost Girl content and all the AfterBuzz TV content. If you have a show that you love and AfterBuzz isn't doing it, you should reach out and see if we can get it done. We're here. We produce over 70 hours of quality free content a week. It's a crazy, staggering amount of podcasts, and we're so happy to be able to do it. Your support is what keeps our doors open, frankly. These ratings and reviews, I know I stump for them every week, but the reason why we need them is because it is the best way, the best surefire way to attract sponsors, to attract guests to our network. It's what keeps us alive. The show doesn't cost you anything. If you could just take a second and do it, it would really mean a lot to us. We also have a standing challenge.
Yeah, we do.
To our listeners, to our viewers, which is that if we can get 10 reviews by next week.
By next week
on the show,
we will get
Ksenia Solo
in the studio
with us.
For the people who don't realize who that is, that's Kenzi.
That's Kenzi. And considering what happened this week,
yes,
we have a lot to talk about with her.
And she needs a hug.
She needs a big old hug.
We need a hug.
And I'm going to give it to her.
You can back up.
Okay, you can give her a hug first.
Thanks.
Yes. We did get a new review this week.
Yay.
So I'm going to read that for
just
everyone.
to remind everyone, that's 10 reviews, not just star ratings, which we would love, star ratings, but also reviews. That's what we need to get Ksenia in here.
Yes. We have 3 reviews. Great podcast from Eric464, 5 stars. I've never met anybody else who has watched Lost Girl, which is sad. I wish you had more people to talk about it with, but instead you have us. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that AfterBuzz was covering this show. I've already seen the entire season 4 of Lost Girl, and I must say I was a little discouraged at the beginning of the season, but from the second half until the end, I have just been blown away. Not going to spoil anything, but the story and especially the acting is by far the best in the series so far, and I can't wait for season 5. The two of you are doing an awesome job with AfterBuzz, and I really hope you land Ksenia as a guest. Very entertaining and insightful. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Eric. That's wonderful.
That was a great review.
JB 97.9. I love JB. Listens to a lot of my podcasts. Matt is the best host on the AfterBuzz network.
Shut up, JB.
A must listen. Can you guys do a podcast for Person of Interest? I'm not sure if AfterBuzz is doing one at the moment. I don't watch the show, but we will let our bosses know, and we'll try to get that out for you. Thank you so much for your support. Rogue 9A, awesome show. Love the show. I watch live every Tuesday, and I often can't wait to see and hear what Yael and Matt have to say. Well, thank you, Rogue 9A. I hope you're watching. I know we're taping a little earlier this week due to a scheduling conflict. But
who's scheduling conflict?
It's my scheduling conflict because I can't be here tonight. So everyone's I know.
Thank you, Roya.
Everyone is moving heaven and earth for me, and it's not lost on me. I love everyone here at AfterBuzz. They're all the greatest.
We know.
And you're all the greatest at home. So thank you for writing. Some
Roya.
more reviews would be great. It would really, really help in getting.
How many are we at?
We have a total. I just shut down my phone, which is just the worst. We have 6. We only need 4 more.
4 more.
4 in a week?
That's easy.
We can do that. That's easy as pie.
If you're listening right now and you haven't reviewed us, do it so that we can get Ksenia, because there's like a 90% chance, that's a huge percentage, that we can get her on the show.
Yes.
So
we would not blow smoke. We're saying it because we love and because we can.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's there to wrap up in this Revenant story? Bo hacks off Laveau's head, drinks her blood.
And it doesn't really stop Harvey.
Doesn't really stop Harvey from making out with the head. She drinks the blood, tells all the Revenants to go back to sleep. They do. Hooray. But it's not the reunion she was hoping for with Dyson. He is drinking alone in the doll, depressed, draining this whole bottle of whiskey shot by shot.
Oh, I was so jealous.
And he's like, look, I've supported you through thick and thin forever. But if it turns out, if you go with this guy and then it turns out that he's the bad guy, I don't think I'm going to be able to help you on that. I just can't anymore. And she's like, what? But we've always been more than lovers, snore. I'm sorry. I know it's the proper way to phrase it, I guess. But like a little teensy twitch of a cringeworthy in that
about
line.
The way they phrased it.
Yes, the phrasing.
That's funny. I thought your problem was the content.
The content?
Yeah, what she was actually saying was that they've always been more than just lovers.
Well, no, because they have always been more than lovers.
I was concerned.
I was not disagreeing with that.
You were cringing at the sentence.
Yeah, because like here's the thing.
How would you have preferred that it was said?
How would I preferred it?
Yeah.
Dyson. Yeah. I mean, Dyson. We've always been more than people who bang each other. No.
Is that what you
I
just don't
know.
like the word lovers?
I don't like the word lovers. I think it's lame in a modern context. And also, she's so modern and she's so punk rock. I can't imagine she would say lovers.
I think she would definitely say lovers because everyone that she is with
is a
lover, and they're not anything else. They're not. I mean, Dyson specifically, he's more of a best friend with benefits.
Even in the first season?
In the first season, anyone she was with, they were just a lover for an evening.
All right.
You're just my lover.
I thought she and Dyson were more together in the first season, but that's just me. But she's really discouraged to hear this. She can't believe it. She's losing friends left and right. Destiny is something that she's still getting used to.
I love that she can't believe she's losing friends left and right, but it's her fault that she's losing friends left and right.
Yeah.
Because she's not telling them why it is that she's with him.
And that's the thing. That's what makes me think on some level she is still a little brainwashed because she's smarter than this. And she's also more in tune with other people and their emotions. She's a succubus. She can sense these kinds of things. How she's not connecting with them and really trying to explain it. Dyson doesn't want to hear the details of your love and your sex life, but giving him the information that lets him know that you're not possessed, you're not brainwashed, that this guy isn't the person who kidnapped you. We don't know who that is. Tell them all the things that we learned last week. Yeah. They hugely assuaged our concerns. Now I'm just mostly convinced that Rayner is a bad guy, not fully convinced.
Well, the thing that's really interesting is that Dyson's like, "What? Isn't it a little fast?" And we had said that in the past. Like, how long was she on that train
Yeah.
to fall in love with him all of a sudden and trust him completely to sign herself over to the dark?
Yeah.
So if you could tell Dyson, that would be nice, because then we would know also that it wasn't this quick, oh, he seems wonderful after I hated him for a second and there was a butterfly.
Yeah.
And now we're in love. And
Now
he's
we're in
destiny.
love. There's that love butterfly. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
You can't beat the love butterfly. Join it.
Okay.
That's what I always say.
And the crown, we still haven't gotten answers about.
Still haven't gotten answers on the crown. It's Lost Girl. There's always going to be extra stuff that we just might not get into. If it's not crucial to the narrative, they don't go back to it. But I'm hoping that we do. I'm hoping that we do get some more answers there, especially now that we know via Tamsin that definitively Rayner is not the Wanderer as she and Akasha knew him.
Right. And the Rayner that she knows is not the Rayner that they know.
Yeah. So that's the big question. Is Rayner Rayner, and who is this other person? Who is this ultimate evil?
Yeah.
We really do have to find out. Tamsin, I think, can we officially say Tamsin is back to her old self?
Oh, yeah. Tamsin is 100% at the Tamsin we met when she first started. And she's even getting memories from the past.
Yes. And she's wrestling with them. But then she makes this move on Dyson,
which I think really speaks to she's the Tamsin that we first met.
I know. Which, I mean, granted, when she made out with him in season 3, I was into that. Also into her and Bo together, but that's apparently not where the show wants to go. I'm sorry that I don't write the show and that I can't pick out who gets to make out with whom. Sorry. But I'm upset with both of them. This is something that I don't think either of them want. Okay, she's making out with Dyson. She's hooking up with Dyson because she feels bad about herself. He's making out with her because he's drunk and he feels bad about himself.
It's going to end poorly.
It's going to end really poorly. This is not how we want them to act. We want them to be smarter about protecting themselves emotionally, and they're just not. But then again, I bet their sex will be awesome and good for them.
Will it?
I don't know.
I think either of them with Bo.
Do wolves get whiskey dick?
No.
Okay, then I think it could still be very good.
Although, you know what? What did she keep repeating when she was making out with him?
I could have sworn I heard "just go with it."
Yeah,
which is
something like that.
Not good. That sounds a little suspect.
Right. It was a very.
If it had been the other way, that would be considered very messed up.
Right.
If he had been saying "just go with it," we would all be very, very upset right now. So that's why I'm upset. Is you don't say that, it's not going to end well.
But that makeout scene was it was again a weird scene because they'd make out and then she'd say, I thought she was saying like, just come on or something.
Yeah, like just please, I need this.
Yeah, something like that. Something like
that.
Like
Desperate.
You don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't want this. Let's just do it anyway.
Oh, God. They know better. They know better, and I'm disappointed. But I'm willing to give them some rope. Let's see where it goes, because they almost went there a year ago.
It would have been nicer if they were making out and they took their clothes off. I'm just saying.
That's true. I mean, we did get some Hale abs this week.
We did, and that was hilarious.
It was.
And then we got Kenzi in adorable little panties.
I know. Oh my God, the panties. But we'll get into that.
Okay.
The way I just said, oh my God, the panties will haunt me till the end of my days.
Yeah, because it's
Just go with it, Matt.
Nope. Refuse
Nice,
to go with it. Refuse to go with it. So, meanwhile, we have Trick.
And Vex.
Yeah, which is great because I always love seeing Vex, especially when he's conflicted about whether or not he's good or bad.
Yeah.
And we have sort of the missing origin seed, which we didn't even talk about in relation to the Revenant attack. Now that everyone knows that Bo and Rayner slew the Unamens, everyone wants the origin seed to protect themselves from what's coming.
And apparently what's coming is the Parapus.
Pyrrhus.
Whatever.
Pyrrhus, which is a hilarious name for a fire-breathing horse with bat wings, which I'm terrified. Here's the thing. Lost Girl, we love it. And we also know that it's a show. It doesn't have the biggest budget in the world.
Right.
and our big bad threat for the season is going to be a wholly CGI created character, and I just want it to look as good as it needs to look.
They have a bigger budget this year, so it'll look better than the Garuda.
I want it to look better than Garuda. I want it to look better than George Takei's Snake Monster.
You can't. That's too much to ask for.
Okay.
But what I can tell you is I have a belief that we won't get to meet
the Purpose
until next season.
Okay, that's a good prediction.
Because they like to
drag stuff out.
They like to drag it out, and they like to take an overarching story, and instead of being like, this is the season, they go, oh, we're going to introduce something important in the middle. It'll come back next year.
All one saga. It's not season by season. It's all one saga. And Vex doesn't know anything about his family, and Trick is kind of trying to reel him in and get his help because he thinks that he's stolen the origin seed or maybe may know where it is.
Right.
So he gets him drunk and starts telling him all these amazing stories of his dead father. And, Vex is super vulnerable. And then Trick kind of springs the trap and is like, my origin seed is gone. I know that you have it. You're not a bad guy. And, Vex does his whole, you may believe that, but I don't thing, and saunters off. And we're just like, how much evidence do you need that you're not evil, you big dummy? You're better as a good guy, and you obviously have remorse. You don't belong on Team Dark.
But he does really enjoy when he can do things that are against the light rules.
I guess so. Fine, be a rebel, but, help the good people.
I feel like if Trick stays in charge of the light, then Vex could easily switch over, be light, follow their rules. And when he breaks the rules because he's just having a good time, Trick would be like, well, he didn't hurt anyone.
Right. He'd show some leniency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just solved your problem, Vex.
Yeah. My potentially favorite shot of the episode, just because it made me giggle, was we have this shot of the books on the bookshelf, and then suddenly the main book just gets twice as fat. It's just the books all grow.
Yep.
And it's like, what was that? Raynor's returning to the history books. Now that he's been brought off of the train, he's not only returning to memories, but he is now returning to history, which is a huge deal because suddenly everyone the world over is going to remember him. Who knows what that could mean for him in the future? We do know, thankfully, that it means that the people who thought that the Wanderer was Raynor will realize that they're two different people. I hope we only have 2 episodes left. I hope that we're able to get the level of answers that we require about why he got labeled as the Wanderer and who is this other person.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of murkiness left to this mystery.
There's still the Hell Shoe.
Exactly. We still have another Hell Shoe to get, though that, I think, like your previous thing about the Purpose, I'm betting the Hell Shoes go into next season as well. Maybe even for the rest of the series. Because if Bo is the chosen one who is fated to wear these shoes, it stands to reason with something so big as being the chosen one, we're not going to see that resolved for another 2 years.
Interesting.
Just a thought. It seems
possible.
like something that would happen leading up to the ultimate finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the ultimate finale where Dyson, Lauren, and Bo
wind up together
in
because in a polyamorous relationship, as they should.
Okay.
Although the way that they left their conversation, she made it seem like she loved him, but now she just likes him. Or is that what he said? It seemed like...
it did seem like she was over him. And where's Lauren?
In this whole debacle.
Yeah.
She's still staying at his place, drinking his drink, and cleaning up a bit, and eventually they will fall in love. That is what I decree.
Okay.
So...
Just making stuff up now.
Making stuff up. So, all right. We got a lot to cover with Kenzi.
I don't want to.
Let's get into it. I know we've been putting it off because we're so afraid of something that we already saw. But Kenzi gets a surprise visitor two surprise visitors in the form of her cousin Dimitri and her mother, who she hasn't seen since she was a child. And she is petrified of what this means. furious that they're there. And for the first time, we really get a view into what made Kenzi into who she is. She has this this mother who had this horrible boyfriend who treated her like crap, and she still chose the boyfriend over her daughter. Daughter runs away, becomes the Kenzi that we know and love. She's dealing with a whole hell of a lot. She wants to believe so badly that her mom has kicked Bogdan to the curb and that she's changed and that they could actually have a relationship. Hale is the one who brought them there because he wanted them to be there when he proposed. Because he's such a good guy, and like that's, you know, of course he wants to do the honorable thing and get her parents' permission beforehand. And even in order to make this happen, he didn't know that Bogdan wasn't her father. He is willing to give him some startup capital for some new business venture. And it just, our heart breaks for Kenzi so many times this episode. You know, she cooks with her mother. Things are actually going well. The beautiful proposal from Hale, the crystal ring box, the gigantic diamond on the ring.
It was a ruby, wasn't it?
Was it a ruby?
I believe so.
I wasn't watching in HD. I don't know.
I believe it was a ruby.
Okay.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. And then just as she's about to answer him, Dimitri gets a call, and he takes it, and we're all like, come on, bro. We've been waiting forever. And then it turns out the mom is still with Bogdan. Kenzi is furious, and she throws them out. And for a second, I'm like, is she gonna turn Hale down over this? Like, what is this? Is she gonna go into a spiral? What? And then they have this great scene together in her room where
he's shirtless.
He's shirtless because he figured, you know, that might help sweeten the pot.
Yeah, which was great.
And so very Lost Girl.
And so appreciated by the fans.
Yeah. Well, how many we've seen Dyson abs so many times.
And they're beautiful.
How many times have we seen Hale abs?
Not enough.
Not enough. And potentially never again.
Not enough, and we won't get another chance.
Oh man. She accepts the ring potential. She takes the ring. She's contemplating saying yes.
She says, I haven't said yes yet.
To which Bo is like, you said yet. And I love this moment between the two of them. Like, this is just one classic Bo Kenzi friendship moment, sisterly moment. I'm so glad that their bond is so strong here. And Kenzi's so excited, and she tells Bo, go and get snacks and drinks and candy, lots of candy. And we're so happy for everyone, and everything is fine, and we could just end the season right here, because isn't that great? And then Massimo shows up.
I hate him.
I hate him so much. And I'm so mad at Kenzi for getting involved with him in the first place. And mad at the Unamens for decreeing, and anyway. Massimo comes in looking like hell, and for a second I think he's a revenant too. But it turns out the twig of
Gamora clan.
Yeah, of Zamora.
Zamora, whatever.
Yeah, the Gamora is a character in Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, the twig of Zamora has been keeping him alive. And
this twig, which saved Kenzi's life at the end of last season, which she then had to trade for her stupid sparkler power.
Yes.
Because she'd been giving up all sorts of awesome Fae things to stupid Massimo.
Yes. So that she could keep having powers and pretend to be a Fae. And he starts beating the hell out of her. And I am furious and I'm terrified. And you said it too. For a hot second, you're like, they wouldn't go there.
No.
They wouldn't kill off Kenzi.
I was really scared.
Really scared. She's screaming for Hale. Where's Hale? Where's Hale? And then he comes out and, like a hero, beats the snot out of him.
And he does it without using his powers at first. He just beats him up man to man.
Right.
And it was beautiful.
I wanted him to go full blast and just blow his head off. Just explode his head from sound power. Okay? And instead, he does it just enough that it makes it look like he's died again. Or maybe he's playing possum.
It's possible that he did almost die or died because he's got the twig.
Because he's got the twig. And Hale comes to check on Kenzi. Or he turns around, he's about to check on Kenzi when he stabs him through the back, through the belly, and we're all horrified and sobbing.
He's sobbing.
And then Massimo's like, the slate's clean. He walks away. He just gets to leave. And an amazing performance from Ksenia Solo, as she's kneeling over his body and she's weeping. And for a hot second, we're like, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And then we have a whole extra act of her weeping over his body. Bo arrives, and ever since he was stabbed, I'm just like, Bo, just breathe chi into him. Just come back and breathe the chi. We can still save him.
Right.
There's still time. And Kenzi is just pleading with her to do what we're pleading with her to do. Breathe the chi, but there's not enough chi to save Hale. And Kenzi says something it's going to change the fabric of their friendship forever. She's like, I will never forgive you. I will never forgive you if you don't do this. Please save him. But it would kill Kenzi in the process.
I'm so sad.
I legitimately was at a loss for words then, and I'm at a loss for words now.
Don't cheapen it, Roya.
Please, you're gonna make me cry again.
It was a Canadian song. So
I know it's a beautiful song, but it's a real hard pill to take. He's a beloved character. We were so happy for where he and Kenzi were going to go in the future.
They were looking at a future.
They were looking at a future, and for the first time, Kenzi was getting all the things that we felt she deserved, but she hadn't gotten. And it's really difficult as a fan to see her in so much pain. I understand from a writer's perspective that it breeds a lot of story and that you need conflict to fuel a story, but a lot of people are going to be divided on this, and we're all deeply saddened to see him go. I hope there's some way to bring him back, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to cheapen what we felt watching this episode by having him come back. So, yeah, it's really, really hard. We've only got 2 episodes left in this season to unpack all these feelings, get revenge, and uncover the true Wanderer. Let's talk predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I predict that I'm going to be sad forever and that I'm going to go home and lie in bed and just think about nothing for a while. That's what I predict.
Is that what you predict?
No, I got plans tonight, but what do you think? What do you think, Yael? We've only got 2 episodes left. So much plot to deal with that there's no way that we're going to get it all.
I think the Rainer that we've met and we know is going to end up being not great. He's not a good guy.
Flawed.
I think more than flawed. The characters we have now, they're flawed.
Right.
I think he's going to be a bad guy. I'd like us to get through that. He's a bad guy. He's not her destiny. She's brainwashed. It's over.
You know, I had a conversation with another Lost Girl fan today who was like, really, you can't see them together? I feel like it could work out, you know? And I'll tell everyone here what I told her is just, we've only gotten to know him for like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
1, really. So I can't make any definitive decisions about whether or not he's good for her, whether or not they work together. They're obviously attracted to each other, but we don't know his true motives.
Yeah.
We don't know really for sure from his perspective who he was before he wound up on the train. I imagine as he gets rewritten into the history books, he's going to remember more about his past, and he's going to remember who he was, and it might turn scary. That's what I think is going to happen. I hope that we get revenge on Massimo by season's end. We can't let that go.
Yeah.
We cannot let this stand. Yeah.
I agree. All of that.
Okay.
Wonderful. I think the season will end with another heartbreak. We only have 2 episodes left. I think there's going to be another heartbreak for sure. And I'm actually really excited for the show to continue with a 5th season.
Fantastic.
Those are my predictions.
Okay. Yael, where can the people find you?
The people can find me online at yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. And on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL.
Okay, and you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman, MattLieberman. You can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV. You can look at my YouTube page where I have all of my sketches, AfterBuzz shows, and videos from SourceFed, which is my new job. If you look tomorrow, there's going to be a new video dropping with me in it from them, and it's very exciting. New shows coming back in April. Got Orphan Black starting up. And I have Mad Men coming back, so pay attention and watch the shows. Thank you all very much for joining us. We will see you next week. Rate and review.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.